Mr. Former Prime Minister, thanks for your time, for your support of my country.
Look, it's very easy to support Ukraine because you aren't just fighting for your own freedom and independence, you're defending the freedom and independence of countries everywhere, particularly small countries against big bullies. So God bless you and may you prevail.
You know that your words, I really wanted to ask you another question, but you said this word so sincere, and I feel that all Australian nation support and would support your words. Why Australians so pro-Ukrainian? That your country is situated so geographically far from Ukraine. Some European countries, like Hungary, for example, they are near, but not so pro-Ukraine. What is the peculiarity of, or the similarity of our national characters, values?
We've probably got about 100,000 Australians of Ukrainian background. They're invariably exemplary citizens. We have a general sympathy for the countries of Eastern Europe that were subjugated by the old Soviet Union. I think those of us who were conscious of what was happening cheered when the Ukraine got its freedom and independence back in the early 1990s. And the obvious evil of what Putin and his armies are doing, I think, has just outraged Australians. We all wanted to think, after the Berlin Wall fell, that at least between decent countries and significant countries, war was a thing of the past. I think we really wanted to believe that. And the fact that Putin, in his all-out attack on Ukraine, has reminded us that there is still evil in the world. There is still institutionalized evil. It's shocked us, it's outraged us, and it's made us want to do whatever we reasonably can to help. And while the Australian government has done a lot on behalf of the Australian people, frankly, I wish we'd done more, and I think we should do more even now.
You know, you visit very often Ukraine. I saw your visit in May this year. You support us politically, personally. This date last year, the 24th of February, what was personally for you? What changed your vision? Where were you? Did you believe that war would start or no?
Well, funnily enough, I'd been at a conference in Budapest just 3 days earlier, and I'd predicted that it was going to happen. So I was given some credit for, I suppose, geopolitical foresight. I didn't want it to happen, but I couldn't see Putin building up such a large army on the borders of Ukraine and not using it. Because one of our mistakes is that we don't take dictators' words seriously enough. We think they're just bluffing. We think that deep down they think the same way that we do, but in fact they don't. I mean, for Putin, recreating Greater Russia, the Russia of Peter the Great, is, if you like, a mission from his God. That's why he has to be taken seriously when he makes threats. It's why Xi Jinping needs to be taken seriously when he makes similar threats against Taiwan and other places. So I took Putin's threat seriously, and I warned just a few days before it happened that it was indeed going to happen.
You know that you have a background, one of the most anti-Putin's speakers in the Anglosphere, in the Anglo-Saxon world. I saw your speech during the third geopolitical summit in Budapest 3 weeks ago, and you said that the United States, to some extent, lost its sustainability. I remember your words. So what is happening with the support of my country in the Western countries? Whether this conflict is challenged for Western order?
Well, it's challenged us to take a stand for freedom and for justice, and not simply to prevaricate and pretend that it can be business as usual with dictators who really aren't that bad. Well, it can't be business as usual with Russia because Putin really is that bad.
And the last question concerning the arc.
Yeah.
A lot of speeches concerning the revaluation of situation, about the challenges in Western world. What are the most important we should take from this conference regarding what is happening in Ukraine and what is happening in Middle East, and I think will continue, unfortunately, in the nearest future concerning the conflicts?
Well, it's often said these days that politics is downstream of culture. And I think the fundamental message from ARC is that we need to reinvigorate our culture. And we do that by remembering our history and by recalling the deeper inspirations for our culture. And in the end, the most significant foundational document for Western civilization is the New Testament.
Thank you.
Thank you.